Hello and welcome to this very special episode of Trojan Poetry. I'm very excited, Mike, because I've done it. I've worked in the B-52s into Trojan Poetry.
You did it.
We've
been talking about this for a long time, by the way.
We've had Bjork, we've had the Killers, we've had Tori Amos. Now it's
we had Aretha.
We had Aretha.
I mean,
it's time for the B-52s.
Yeah, all the favorites.
So I kind of worked backwards through this. I wanted to do a B-52s song, and I then, by chance, found an interview by Fred Schneider, who is the singer, one of the singers of the B-52s, and here's what he said. I kind of found this quote, and then I thought of all this. So he says, "With the lyrics that I wrote, I was more inspired by Dada and Surrealism than any other particular songwriters." So early on in like 79, 78, 76, when they were beginning to write their songs, Fred Schneider, lead singer of the B-52s, says, I was inspired by Dada and Surrealism. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I need to do a little bit of research. I know vaguely what that's about, but I did a little bit of research, and I found on the MoMA website, so it looks like this one, here's a quote about Dada poetry. "Emerging during the destruction of World War I, Dada sought to undermine the fundamental structures of the rational, ordered society. At the heart of reason is language, the conduit through which every rule was constructed and every law communicated. So, to destroy words and disrupt syntax was perhaps the ultimate act of subversion." So it's interesting. Fred Schneider in the 70s goes back to Dada, which was during World War I, and the desire to destroy language, right, and everything, but keep going here. "To free text and speech from conventional rules of spelling, grammar, and punctuation, Dadaists unleashed an arsenal of puns, wordplay, and experimental poetry and literature, some turning words and letters into abstract forms, stripping them of their legibility. These experiments were meant to expose the arbitrary relationship between words and their meanings. Of these verbal dissections, painter Albert Gleizes remarked, 'Never has a group gone to such lengths to reach the public and bring it nothing.'" Right. So the idea that Fred Schneider of the B-52s was recalling or drawing upon a revolutionary art form that wanted to destroy language.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that was so interesting. So I went back and listened to their song Planet Claire, which they always start their concerts with. Right? So I'm going to play a clip of Planet Claire, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Okay?
Planet Claire has begun. All the trees are red. No one ever got there. And no one has a bed.
All right, so that was a section of Planet Claire by the B-52s, and the thing I noticed, once I was thinking of it, because I've never understood the song, and I've always been like, what is this?
What
it's
is
a
he
great
talking
song,
about?
right?
Yeah.
But then once I had the Dadaist lens, I was like, oh, okay. So it's a Mancini. They're sampling Mancini. They've got like a spy thing going on. He's playing a walkie-talkie at one point. There's bongos, right? You've got that sci-fi element of the weird sounding voices and the story itself. And then there's like the smooth, kind of cool attitude or tone mixed with his anger, right? when she isn't.
Yeah, right. I was like, whoa.
He's so angry.
Yeah, Fred, what are you so pissed about?
And just the confusion of, he takes all these parts that seem familiar and then just puts them in a blender, and yet it's so catchy, but I don't know, because like, is it a love song? Because she, like, okay, so she came from Planet Claire, well, what did she do?
Right.
Right, like,
why is she important to you?
Right, and it's like, it seems like it should be like a James Bond spy thing going on, or like he was in love with her or something, but there's no plot.
Right.
Right.
The trees are red. He just throws random facts about Planet Claire in there.
Right.
I just made a rhyme. Some say she's from Mars. Well, she isn't.
Right.
Or one of the 7 stars that shine after 3:30 in the morning.
So that's like the Pleiades, right? The 7 stars.
Yeah.
the Pleiades,
Okay. Yeah. I thought he was like talking about a bar or a club or something where that's still going on. I mean, it's interesting because it makes you curious about Planet Claire. You know, I've got some details in my head.
What is she doing?
But that's about it. Yeah.
Right. And she's driving a normal car, like a Plymouth Satellite, which is obviously kind of a pun on satellites, you know, in the sky, but it's also a car. So there's wordplay. There's this mishmash of like collected pieces because the Dadaists would apparently take a text, cut it up, put it in a bag and shake it, and then just put the words out randomly, or the phrases. Right, and that's kind of what I feel like happened here.
Right, that sounds almost like the William Burroughs, you know, let's cut things out of a newspaper, and, or that Woman's World, the book where he took it all out of the magazines from the 60s.
Right, so I was like, oh, like, yeah, this is a Dadaist song that has become this kind of cult favorite. Yeah,
crazy pop phenomenon in its own right, you know. Right. The thing that I keep coming back to is no one ever dies there, no one has a head.
Because you're thinking like, oh, it's like a femme fatale, like she's this beautiful woman.
Right, and she's going to come and like change his life, you know.
Right.
And, yeah, right.
She doesn't even have a head.
No one noticed that. No one mentioned that before, John.
Right,
this is an outrage.
That kind of desire to play with the listeners. Hey, there's all these parts you recognize, right? It's kind of postmodern in that sense, right? It's like, here's all this stuff you know, but I'm just going to completely mix it up.
Yeah, refurbish it, so to speak.
Right. All right, well, in the next episode, we're going to talk more about Dadaism. But for now, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our website at trojanpoetrydgn.blogspot.com and check out Twitter at trojanpoetrydgn.